Hello, I'm Mike.
And I'm Elaine.
And we are
Bible Fanatics. And today we are history fanatics because today is all about the books of history.
The next 12 books are all about history. That sounds like a lot, I know, but believe me, they're going to go quick, lickety-split.
We begin with Joshua, who led the children of Israel into the promised land. His first victory was when God knocked down the walls of the city of Jericho. So for Joshua, we're going to make a motion with our hands as if the walls were tumbling down.
Joshua is followed by the judges. The judges were who ruled Israel in the promised land and saved them from their enemies. They include the prophetess Deborah, the brave leader Gideon, and the powerful Samson. Let's make a fist and pound it like a gavel in our hands to remember the judges.
Next comes Ruth, the sweet story about a woman from Moab who stayed loyal to her mother-in-law Naomi when each of their husbands died. Ruth did things for Naomi like gather wheat for their food. So for Ruth, let's pretend we're picking up the grain from the ground with one hand.
1st and 2nd Samuel tell the story of the prophet, and the first kings of Israel, including Saul, David, and Solomon. We can remember 1st and 2nd Samuel by counting with our fingers, 1, 2, and then drawing an S in the air.
Next comes 1st and 2nd Kings, 2 books that tell the story of the other kings of Israel. Some good, some bad, some ugly. Count on your fingers, 1 and 2, then put both your hands on your head like you're putting on a crown. That's how we'll remember 1st and 2nd Kings.
Now, 1st and 2nd Chronicles retells the story of the kings of Israel from the beginning. Count on your fingers, 1, 2, and then make a C, so you can represent the Chronicles.
Now we come to Ezra. Ezra lived in a time long after the kings. God allowed his people to be taken prisoner by the Babylonians as punishment for their sins. When God forgave them, Ezra was one of the people to lead them home. So let's wave goodbye to Babylon to help us remember Ezra.
Nehemiah also lived in a time after the exile to Babylon. He helped the people rebuild the wall around their city of Jerusalem. To remember Nehemiah, let's make a hand motion as if we're stacking bricks to rebuild the wall.
Last but not least is Esther, a queen and an Israelite whose bravery saved her people. Pretend you are placing a crown on your head like Esther would have worn.
And that's all 12 books of the history. See? I told you it would go fast, lickety-split.
Let's review them one more time, shall we? You join in. Joshua tore down the wall. The judges held court in Israel. Ruth picked up grain.
Then come 1st and 2nd Samuel, 1st and 2nd Kings, and 1st and 2nd Chronicles.
Ezra waved goodbye. Nehemiah built a wall. Esther was the queen.
9 motions, 12 books. They teach us what happens when we obey God and what happens when we don't. It's all found in the 66 books of the Bible.